Good afternoon, everybody. Rod back with you. Thought I would do a video. Yesterday I posted on my community thing on my channel just to state, put a picture there that I had the opportunity and the privilege to speak to our future Prime Minister, the Honourable Pierre, leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. He came to our local area. Had a meet and greet with hunters, sport shooters. Also met to discuss other things with other people, living costs and the way things are in the country, financially, and, what we can look forward to in the future, if things don't change. And I tell you, it put a lot in perspective for people in that room to listen to. He's got a strong financial background, and he's good with numbers. And I know what you're going to say. Politicians are all the same. Well, you know what? He explained it to me like this. What we have right now is not a liberal government of years ago. A liberal government years ago would not conduct themselves like these guys are. This is almost like a form of dictatorship and a form of communistic regime. Something like you'd see overseas in foreign countries where they lay the smackdown and you listen or else. Or we take it and you like it. And that's just the way it's going to be. And we don't want you to own a car, we're going to take your car. If we don't want you to own a gun, we're going to take that too. If we don't want you to live in the house, we're going to give you a cardboard box. You're going to like that too. And that's sort of the ideology that these guys have, like trying to ban electric car or gas-powered cars by 2030. That you can only sell electric cars. I mean, look what trouble that would make. I mean, I was at a dealership yesterday looking at one. $100,000 for a Hyundai Ioniq 5N. $100,000 with taxes. Who in God's name can afford $100,000 around these parts for a family car? An environmentally friendly car. Are there cheaper electric ones? Yeah. But, if you still want a sporty car, well, that one there's $100,000. Now, I drive a hybrid. It's like a half gas, half electric. It's non-plug-in, so it charges itself on the road. It doesn't have the electric range, of course, a regular EV would have, but it saves me some money driving around town where I can use electric over gas. Another thing he's touched on was the price of our gas and all the taxes that we pay on our fuel. And, they're blaming everything on greed from the fuel companies, and it's not just all the fuel companies. The government at any time can withdraw the carbon tax and take a good chunk of that price off, but they won't. Their thoughts on things are like archaic and medieval almost. This place has to change. And like he was telling me, in order for us to make change, we have to make some repairs to what's been done, then proceed forward and make change. And I believe that's the way it should be. We might have to put up with the costs staying and hovering where they're at, but if he can get in power and he can change things around, those will eventually come down to, somewhat status quo, and probably a hell of a lot better than what we got now. But anyway, the video, I wanted to touch on that, but also I received a package in the mail, a gift from a buddy of mine. He knows I do some muzzle loading and whatnot, and so does he as well, and he's a very handy leather worker. Unbelievable work, top quality. You could put these things in like Cabela's or Bass Pro and you could sell these. He'd do well, and I would encourage him to do so. But Merle, when he gets something in his head, and he wants to make something, boy, he puts some effort, and he usually turns out a really decent product, so I'm going to show them to you. What he sent me was a couple of small shooting pouches that he makes out of leather. These are for carrying balls, lead shot, what have you. One of them is more or less just for shot or ball. The other one is sort of like almost like a marble bag style, where you could put a variety of little things in there and take them with you hunting if you're only planning on shooting a few rounds and you don't want to haul the big possibles shoulder bag with you. You could tie this, put this in your jacket pocket and walk around and have that. So first one I'm going to show you is a little ball pouch he made me. And here we go. This is my friend's leather work, as you can see, very nicely stitched here. And I like the deer track. That's really attractive. I like that burnt in there. And the leather is finished beautifully. I don't know if you can, there's a little better picture bit there. I tried turning the resolution up on my screen to get you a better picture, but I still got that haziness when I use the screen. So here we go. Overall, beautiful work. Nice, no frays, no nothing. All very nice, soft, pliable leather. This will last a long time. I really appreciate this. And it will come in very useful, and I'll show you the gun I'm going to be using it for, perchance when I get out to use to go hunting. So that's my first one he sent me. Now the second one, as I told you, is almost like you were a kid and you had a bag of marbles. A little cloth bag with a drawstring on top. You know, you put your marbles in it, close her up. Well, that's sort of the style this is. Really nice, really well made. Nice quality, nice soft leather, well treated, well tanned, whatever. Little drawstring with a little leather tab there with the drawstrings going through it. And stitched very nicely together. Really nice crafty work. I'll tell you, boy, that's going to be handy in the woods. You can put your lead balls, flints, percussion caps, wads. You could even fill this with shot if you wanted to, or fill it with lead balls. It's up to you. But I mean, this would be great for going hunting. You know, throw in like a dozen lead balls, some couple of cleaning patches, some tin of caps, and you're sort of off to the races. You know what I mean? And very small, compact, not much room taken up, easy to carry, and well made. This is going to last a long time, and I'm going to enjoy using it. So Merle, thanks. Really appreciate it. On top of that, I do have another pouch. It's a commercially made pouch, and it's a little different. It's the only thing I know about it. It says made in Mexico on it. So I got it at a gun show. Gentleman didn't really know if it was handmade by anybody. I assume it's handmade, but you know, not locally or whatnot. I do have a shooting bag that was made by a native chap from out west, like the northern part of Alberta. I have that here, but you know, I've got this. Now this is like more commercial. You know, it's got the little steel snap there, and I think Merle actually does do stuff with the snap buttons and whatnot, but I think he makes them more traditional style like that, more so. So this one's got some embossing here, like there's two little mushrooms here and some little grassy scene on the bottom. You know, it's made of I'm not sure of what kind of leather or hide this is, but it's quite thick, and it's all stitched together with the leather stitching. This is basically like brand new. I mean, I don't know how old it is, but I've had it out in the field before. This one's got the belt loop sling on it. That's handy. So, you know, you go out with this one, like I said, you can put your lead balls, wads, cleaning patches, flints, caps, what have you, in the bag, and put this on your side and do your hunting. So you're going to ask, what else did you get, Rod? Well, Merle didn't give me this one. This is one I got, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago at a gun show. Maybe even more than that now I think of it. Yeah, it would be. Probably be like, 15 years ago or so. Yeah, it would be something around that area. So I've had this a while. So also in his travels, while he knew that I do some muzzle-loading shotgunning, and I make paper cartridges and black powder cartridges, he stopped at a place down there. He's a trucker, and he bought some lubricated ox yoke cushion wads. I'll take one out and show it to you here. And they're not stinky or nothing. They have like a ox yoke lubricant, like a waxy lube, but there they are, your typical fiber wads, and they got that greasy sort of lubricant in there. And those will work well. They would work well in the cartridge gun, but they're kind of a waste for the cartridge gun. I've got all kinds for that. But he sent me those, And he also picked up some of these for me. He wasn't sure how many I had. So these are 12 gauge nitro cards, ox yoke, just cut out of sort of a, I don't know what you'd say, it's a little over maybe a 1/16 of an inch thick nitro card there. Cardboard wad over powder. And you can split these and make overshots, but leave it to Merle. He doesn't forget you. He put these in the bag, in the box also. These are just cut out of bristle board. These are really handy. Really appreciate it. And they're going to come in handy for my old English gun that I got here. I'm going to show you. And if you look on my old YouTube channel, WaBuddy2, that's spelled W-A-B-U-D-D-Y with the number 2, WaBuddy2. Yeah, story behind that name. It's a nickname that my buddy has, WaBuddy, my buddy Glenn. Every time I say something to him, he'd be like, huh, WaBuddy, you know? So I just, WaBuddy2, I just did that as a name to make the channel, and it kind of worked. It's a shame, too, because I got a ton of videos on there. I got a really big pile of likes and watches and views, and I had a good amount of members to it, like people to subscribe, but I can't get into it anymore. The password's something screwed up. I can't access it. So, but you're more than welcome to go watch those videos and still like them if you want. And if you see one that's there, you can always ask me about it, and I'll be sure to remember the video, or I'll go look at it. And any questions you might have, by all means, feel free. So, one of the guns I featured in that channel was this. This is my English side-by-side percussion gun that was made by Reuben Hopkins. It's stocked in cherry wood, which is kind of odd for an English gun, but it's stocked in cherry. Got that little doubloon or little insert there. It's made of silver. This is not a high quality gun. Like, you know, it's a nice made gun. You see how the screw heads are straight, and this one here is straight. I'll get a better look at this in a second. I'll flip the screen around. Straight and straight. It's got some floral engraving on the locks here. Percussion side by side, 12 gauge. One bore is proof 13, one's proof 14, which is typical back in the day how they did choking. This gun dates back to like the mid 1850s, maybe early 1860s. It's twist barreled, and it shoots very well. It's got a bit of heft to it. 30-inch barrels. The finish is quite worn on it. I intend on finding somebody to redo the finish on the barrels to get the patterns back out. When I got this gun, the story was, it was in the attic of a house that was going to be torn down, along with 2 other guns. This was wrapped in a blanket, covered in grease, and then underneath the grease, there was like a varnish type shellac over the entire metal parts of the gun. And the stock was kind of crappy too. It had a bunch of old dried grease on it. And this is not refinished at all. This is what was underneath. I got this to clean up very well and polish it. There's not a sanding mark in this stock. Nowheres. And I'll tell you, you know, it's got the original, like the fit and finish is perfect on the butt pad. It's not been sanded down. The fit and finish is perfect here and here. The locks fit perfect, so this is the original finish on the wood. Hard to believe, really is. But those wads I will be using in this gun. And I'm just going to grab my phone and I'm going to flip you around here. Give you a quick overview of this here. There we go. There's our maker, Hopkins. Not to be confused with Hopkins and Allens. This is Reuben Hopkins of England. And you can see here, there's the remnants of that shellacky varnish that was all over the metal. It was everywhere. I had the gun completely apart. It did not look very pretty. And the guy gave it to me and he's like, you can have this thing, you know, see what you can do with it. Hang it on a wall. He said I was going to hang it on a fireplace, but if you like these old things, you're welcome to it. So I took it. And I've had this gun for probably close to 20 years. There she's marked London Twist right there. You can see some remnants of the twist patterning. There's the marks for the breech plugs. And you know what? We have had these things out. And the bores are actually not in too bad a shape. A few little minor pits, nothing to be concerned about whatsoever. Like you see here, there's a little scratch there. A couple little dings here and there. But you know, considering its age, and it still shoots fine. Now there we go. There's the fit and finish quality. Nice and flush. But the finish is worn, of course. The metal, when I cleaned it, any remaining color case hardening or bluing that was there was gone. I had no choice but to clean it like that. You can still see where some of that stuff kind of etched its spot for eternity. But the screw is straight, see? Nice and flush finish. Nice and flush here. Got some engraving in the trigger guard. Straight screw. A little bit of minor engraving there. And so forth. There's the end of the trigger guard. Screw is straight. And it still fits good. Again, stocked in cherry wood. It does have a couple little dingies here and there. Nothing severe. And there's the butt pad, still nice and fit. And this is actually, like I said, remarkable that it held out this long in this condition. There's that little silver inlay disc that's there. Somebody said that they used to put their initials in there. This one's never been engraved or touched. So overall, again, we're gonna look up here. This is the original hickory ramrod, and I'm going to remove it in a minute here. I'm going to show you. Oh, I'm going to remove it in a second here. Kind of hard holding the camera, but anyway, the rib is also made of twist steel. You can see the twist pattern in the rib there faintly. Barrels are, of course, London twist, as they call them. I don't believe that they're very high quality in any kind of like a high-grade gun. It's a hunting gun. The makers of the barrels were B. Woodward and Sons. Now, one thing about that I found out is they were a very well-known barrel maker in England. And they make barrels of some high-quality stuff. So, but this gun is not high quality, so we will assume that this gunsmith maybe collaborated with the barrel maker, and maybe this could be like an English guild gun of some kind. But we can't really find a whole lot about the maker either. So I'm not saying it's a very famous or prolific maker, but it's a nice old English gun, certainly usable. Here's the end of my ramrod with said ball patch wad puller. Isn't that cool? And that's all original. On the end of the hickory rod, attached with a pin. Steel, like a screw, and threaded cap, still in good shape for all those years. This is original to the gun, so I'm going to insert that back on if I don't drop it, and we'll just screw that back in place. Just so. But overall, the old ramrod's got some of that original finish still left on it. It was never touched, not by me. And it's got some scuffs and marks, so I would say this is original use. And there you go. One thing I did do to this ramrod when I got it, this copper brass piece would move back and forth. I think it's brass. At first I thought it was copper, but I think it's brass. I just put it in some water, and I put a few small brass tacks in a triangular shape to spread the wood apart, so once it would dry out that it would take wedge form, and you can see where it swelled up past the head of the tamper, I call it, and it's a little bit proud, and it's made itself tightly wedged, so now it doesn't move. So ready to go to the field. I'm going to insert that back in the ramrod guides here. That enters there. And I'm going to flip back around. So, That is my English muzzleloading Hopkins shotgun, 12 gauge. And that is the package I received from my friend from the South Shore, Merle. Like I said, good quality work, excellent product. And, you know, I'm going to enjoy using those for years to come. And also a little update on the Pierre Poilievre thing. You know, guys, hang in there. Better things are to come. Hopefully, he can undo some of the wrongs that have been done to us, gun owners, citizens in general, and get this place back to where it should be, and we can continue on our lives as per normal. And I really hope for my U.S. viewers that, you know, things down there can get better, and, you know, maybe in the next election where you may have a change of government, a change of political view, that it can only do better, not worse, and go from there. So I'll leave you with that. A little dry today. The weather's changing outside. I was out and about today. The wind is cool and raw, but it is dry. We got a lot of moisture in the ground. Got my lawn tractor running, got the lawnmower running from over the winter and sitting. So hopefully get a chance to use that soon as well. Who knows, maybe I'll even make a lawn mowing video for you guys if the deer come back. We usually have a group of deer that when they hear the lawn tractor, they get curious and they come out and they watch me mow the lawn. It's priceless. They don't move. You can literally mow circles around them. They don't move. So that would be a cool video. That being said, I'll leave you with that. And maybe I'll get a chance to take my lubricated wads, my card wads, and my other wads that my buddy got me, get a chance out and take the old girl out and do another video. If you go my old channel, Wabuddy2, you will see 2 videos of this gun, and one of the videos is being loaded and being shot, and it's pretty effective. The old girl barks, and I hope you can still find my channel and look it up. Like I said, Wabuddy2, look it up, and you'll see, type it, or even if you go and do a YouTube search and you put Hopkins English, this gun will pop up. There's 2 videos. I made it in 2 parts of this gun, so I really hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and enjoy your day, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.